Hey everybody, this is Joe Gilder from HomeStudioCorner.com, and today I want to do a review of EZDrummer. I've gotten a lot of requests from readers who want to see me talk a little bit more about EZDrummer because they've not used it themselves and they know I'm a big fan of it. So that's what I'm doing today. And I'm actually going to load up EZDrummer. I've got an instrument track, a stereo instrument track here in Pro Tools. And I'm going to go ahead and find EZDrummer in my instrument folder. There it is. Okay, so while that's loading, I want to talk a little bit about EZDrummer. As the name suggests, it is very easy. It's really simple to get up and running. There's not a huge number of bells and whistles that can confuse you, but you've got everything you need there to get a nice customized drum sound. And one of the cool things that I like about EZDrummer is that it's all RAM-based. So you'll notice here, it's loading all the samples actually into the RAM on your computer. Now this is different from a lot of other drum programs because they actually you install the samples on a dedicated separate hard drive and it streams those samples as you play the drums. So as you play a kick drum, it actually streams a full resolution kick drum audio file. And that can be really cool, and those kits sound great. And when you buy them, they'll say something like, over 100 gigabytes of samples included. And that's really cool. But at the same time, I really like the sound of EZDrummer, and it just loads up a smaller number of samples and loads them into RAM so they're immediately accessible. And there's not the disk streaming issues that you may run into with another kit. And okay, so it's ready to go. It took probably 30 seconds to load this up, and we can now click and hear the kit. So it's a nice, decent, just bread and butter drum kit. And if I were to reach over, if I enable this track, just like an audio track, if I were to reach over to my controller, I can play these pieces as well. So there's two options here. You can just record, start recording and play the kit yourself. If you've got awesome rhythm like me, that's probably what you want to do. But if you don't, then and there it is playing back. Now, if you don't, and you want to have a little help, that's one of the things that I think EZDrummer really excels at. It's not terribly unique in the sense that you've got a drum kit in front of you. You can play it in with a MIDI controller of some sort. That's not all that unique. What I like is the fact that it comes with a ton of MIDI grooves. So what are MIDI grooves? Well, if you click on down here, open grooves, then you can come in here to the pop rock grooves are the ones that are included. And let's say you've just got a straight 4/4 song. You've got a 4/4 straight, 4/4 shuffle, 4/4 with a 6/8 feel, and also a couple in 3/4 and 6/8. So a lot to choose from. And let's just say we want to do funk rock, and you've got all these grooves here. And within each groove, you've got a bunch of variations. So this particular set of grooves each has 20 variations. So that's 20 times 35, which is a really big number. That's all the different grooves that you've got available to you. Not to mention fills and things. We'll get to that in a second. So how do we listen to these? Well, if we click on it, nothing happens. Why? Because we need to hit this cute little play button down here. So it's just going to loop that little single, or they're different lengths. Some are 1 bar, some are 2. But as we click on these, they'll just change. So we can audition a couple. Okay, so I'm really liking that. So we found one that we like. What do we do from there? Well, all we do is click on the name itself and drag it into Pro Tools. And you'll notice, if you let go, it just becomes a MIDI file. So all that MIDI information for each piece of the kit is right there. So it's as if we were to play. If we double click on it, it'll bring up all that note information. It's as if we played all these notes in ourselves, but it's just a lot easier. So now they're here, and if we hit play, we can listen to it. Now we can duplicate that over 2 bars, and then let's say we want to change it up and put a fill here of some sort. Well, that's totally doable. Come back to EZDrummer, go back to our grooves menu, and come over here to fills. Now we've got full 4-bar fill or 4-beat fills, half a bar fills, a quarter bar fills, all that fun stuff. So let's just say we want to do just a full bar of fills. Same thing here. We just come through and audition them. That one's just way over the top. It's perfect. So we will come over here, drag that, and drop it right here. And you'll notice I'm in grid mode, so it's snapping everything to the tempo of my song, which right now I believe is just at 120. Okay, so we come back over here, and we hold down Option to copy a region, and we bring it over here and copy it, and we can do that again. So now we've got 2 bars, a fill, and then 2 more bars. Take a listen. Now, what's cool, and this is also not not an EZDrummer feature as much as it is just a MIDI feature, but if we for some reason weren't happy with the tempo of this song, we could simply, without much ado, just come in here and change it. So let's say it was a little too fast. I think it is actually. Change that. It just changed all our MIDI information without us having to do anything. So now it's all at that tempo. Really cool. Now let's talk about the other features of EZDrummer that I like. The mixer window. And you can get there by simply clicking on this little mixer here or clicking Open Mixer. Now you've got what you're probably accustomed to seeing is a basic mixer. And you've got individual pieces for each piece of the kit. So if we hit play, then we can solo pieces. We can change levels, all that fun stuff. What I love about EZDrummer is that it gives you a really realistic overhead and room microphone selection. So let's take a listen to the overheads. So that's just the overhead track soloed, and you can hear the kick, you can hear the snare, and if we went through those tom fills, you could hear the toms as well. And that's really cool because that's a realistic sound. One of the problems with programming drums sometimes is you have cymbals just by themselves, but you don't ever hear cymbals by themselves. You hear cymbals blended with everything else that's in the kit. And they give you the option of turning that on and off with these bleed control knobs. And if we turn it off, you'll hear it sounds much less natural. What you hear is you actually don't hear anything because all we were listening to was the bleed from the other drum. So the kick and snare now come through. So the overhead track isn't just for your cymbals. And then there's the room track, which is really cool too. So if that's all you want, be able to control levels and panning, and that's it, you've got a great drum kit here. But they also give you the option of changing your outputs here to multi-channel outputs, which lets you record the kick to a separate audio track, snare, so on and so forth. And I did a video on that actually several months ago, so if you're wanting to know how to do that, check that out. But otherwise, that's a good overall review of EZDrummer, and I'm really happy with it. It's $150 currently, I think. And right now it's April 2010, and it's, you know, if you don't have a drum program and you're just getting into it, it's a great one to get into. It sounds good, real straightforward, and you can change the sounds out fairly easily. One of the ways they let you change the sounds is you can buy these separate little expansion kits. So I've got the one from the Nashville kit, Latin Percussion, pretty much all the ones they offered at the time that I got EZDrummer. And these expansion kits basically give you completely new drum kits and new grooves that you can include in your same setup. So you just install those. They sell for, I think, somewhere around $70 or $80 and gives you a whole new set of drums. And that's it for me. That's EZDrummer. Really happy with it. I'll leave you with some outro music. You can listen to the drums a little bit more as this video comes to a close. But if you have any questions, feel free to head over to the website, homestudiocorner.com, and I'll be happy to help you. Again, my name's Joe Gilder, and thanks for watching.